Hey everyone, just so you know, the following video is a clip from a show I actually do on AFTV. The full link for the video is in the description below. Thank you for your continued support, really appreciate it. Arsenal, for all this and for all their control, Arsenal actually started the first 5 minutes of the game slightly more on the back foot. What do you mean on the back foot? We were 1-0 up after 17 minutes and we were comfortable and Bournemouth didn't do anything. I agree. But let me show you this player influence map from the Stats Zone app. The player influence map shows you the average position of the players, and I've set it to a particular time, so I've set it from minute 0 to minute 5. You look at the average positions of the players, but also the bigger the name shows you the more involved they are. That means how many touches, how many passes, whatever it might be, chances created, whatever it is. And if you look at this one here, I'm showing the Bournemouth players now. Every Bournemouth player in our half, that's their average position for the first 5 minutes. Cook, central midfielder, getting on the ball a lot more than any other player. So Bournemouth actually settled quite well in that first 5 minutes. But then I'll show you Arsenal's player influence graphic. And again, Zinchenko, coming inside a little bit. Arsenal having plenty of the ball. They did in that first 5 minutes. But again, all in our own half. We actually had to defend Bournemouth that first 5 minutes and just get through the first 5, set the tone as very... let's not do anything stupid here. Let's not go behind early on. Let's not sort of get the fans really behind the team because they see some joy in that first 5 minutes, and Arsenal weathered that. But what they also did, and I'm now going to extend that analysis beyond the first 5 minutes and extend it to the first 30. This is what I mean when I say, are Arsenal misunderstood? Because when this team goes out there away from home, they're actually quite good at dropping into a defensive 4-4-2 shape. And just ensuring that this team is able to make sure they're not played through, they're quite tight. Jesus helps Zinchenko, Saka helps White a lot. And they're very good at not allowing too many openings, not sort of getting pulled out of position. Ben White, you won't find him overlapping sort of too much in that first 5, 10, 15 minutes of the game. And Zinchenko, who can come inside, is actually holding his position fairly well. Yes, you saw in that average position map in the first 5, he does come inside still because that's his game. That's his job to try help us get control of the ball. But Arsenal don't overcommit too much. And what you end up getting is match stats like these. Let me show you. The first 30 minutes against Bournemouth, I said we'd extend that 5 minutes to 30. Arsenal had 4 shots to Bournemouth's 1. We had 1 big chance, 197 passes to their 92, and 6 passes into the penalty area. But let's look at Bournemouth stats from the first 30 minutes. If you ever want to quiet a crowd, especially you're away from home against a home crowd who are excited because they're playing Arsenal at home, it's a big moment, all that. They had 1 shot, not a single big chance, 92 passes, so they're getting well outpassed by Arsenal, and they've only got the ball into the penalty area twice. That's completed passes into the penalty area. So immediately, the first 5-10 minutes, you can weather a storm, you can settle down into a game. But if for 30 minutes, so a third of a football match, you've seen your team, and I'm talking about the Bournemouth fans here, you've seen your team barely lay a glove on Arsenal. Immediately that quietens things down. Immediately that just diffuses tensions in the air, excitement, and Arsenal can then just settle and start playing their football. Arsenal then get their goal in the 17th minute. But for that whole first 30, Bournemouth really couldn't get in it. Now, this isn't just true of the Bournemouth game. Let me take you to the other Premier League away game we had more recently. Everton, who had 0 shots, 0 big chances, 46 passes, and 0 passes into the penalty area in that first 30 minutes again. So Arsenal are taking control of these games by sapping any hope out of the home team because they're giving them nothing in that first 30. And we did a similar thing against Palace. Yes, they had 4 shots, as you can see here, still 0 big chances, still only 93 passes, but 0 passes into the penalty area compared to Arsenal's 10. So the opposition, when we're going away from home in the league, are getting nothing into our penalty area. That is 2 passes into the penalty area from every team we've played away from home in the first 30 minutes of football. That is very disciplined, very controlled. And yes, we don't look as fluid, we don't look as exciting. We're not sort of looking like we're going to score with every attack, every time we bomb forward. Arsenal know that they're going to create enough to get themselves a goal or 2 in that first half, or at least, they're going to create enough chances for it to happen. You look at Martinelli and that slightly ridiculous offside against Everton. We had chances with Eddie Nketiah at Palace. If you don't take them, you're going to have chances in the second half. But crucially, you've demoralised the team so much because I think you've sapped the energy and excitement from them by giving them nothing in that first 30. Now, as the game goes on and Arsenal get a goal or whatever, cool, the team open up a little bit more, the opposition, and they're going to start throwing a few more punches. But by that point, Arsenal might have a goal or two and the game might be won. And I just think it's so fascinating that Arsenal have shown a similar trend here by managing these first 30 minutes of away games so crucially and in such a disciplined way in terms of conceding very, very little to the opposition, even if it is costing us a little bit in terms of our fluidity and our attacking play going forward.